Welcome back, folks. Tommy O'Brien with Tom O'Brien. We got the Dow up 71, S&P's currently positive by 10, NASDAQ positive by 38. And we got a great guest this segment. We have our man John Skelton. John works with Daryl. We've had Daryl on before from the Apex Investment Institute. John, good morning. Welcome to TFNN.
Good morning, guys. How we doing?
Doing great, man. Good to talk to you.
You too, man. I hadn't seen you guys in a bit.
Yeah.
Tom, I hadn't seen you since New York. Missed seeing you there, buddy.
Listen, I missed it myself. I heard you guys had a great time. New York, Big Apple, always a good time for sure. They got that great show right in Times Square. Yeah, it's great to have you on the air. I know you have a bunch of beautiful charts, which is why we don't have your beautiful face up there this morning, but we'll get you up there on video soon enough. So, John, what are you looking at in the market this morning? Tell the listeners a little bit about what you do with Daryl in terms of how you trade, how you got started, and tell us a little bit about yourself to introduce yourself to the TFNN listeners.
Absolutely, man. I've actually known Daryl for going on about 18 years now. I knew him way back in the day before either one of us were involved in the trading world, and we kind of both went our separate ways. And about 6 years ago, I'd always been interested in trading, and about 6 years ago, I was just doing a lot of research online, and I was all excited about this new thing called binary options, and I was researching a bunch of stuff online and came across this guy making all these, videos about Nadex, and I said, man, wait a minute, I know this guy, I know this guy's voice, and reached out to Daryl, and I was like, hey, man, it's me, and so we started working together, and somehow it was like, hey, man, come on and help me part time, do some of this stuff with with Apex while you trade, and somehow, part-time help turned into head of operations and running the whole thing while,
Daryl. Career. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
While Daryl runs his trading and does all his rodeo stuff with his daughter. But, we're Apex, we're all education-based, man. We've got... we've got a ton of strategies and systems and day trading systems. We love the capitalist products with Nadex. We trade them every day ourselves and every day in our trade rooms, and especially love them for days like this, man. The last few days with these big moves, you got to love that capitalist there.
Defined risk. We talk about it always, for sure. Especially when you have the Dow approaching 500 points to the negative side yesterday, right?
Yeah, no kidding, man. I mean, some of these huge moves and. But gotta love this volatility too, man. We had this craziness back. I think you guys were talking about it earlier too. The markets are back to where they were. 28th of January, kind of.
Yes,
January
right
there.
It goes quickly.
January 24th. Only took 6 hours. Right.
Yeah. We had all that craziness in February and crazy volatility. Then we kind of slowed down, and then a few weeks ago you got people like, oh man, the summer slow time is here, and then the market and the news gives you a little bit of surprise and gets you back some good volatility here. So it's a day trader's dream, this kind of volatility.
So I know you have some charts teed up for us, John. What do you want to get into for the listeners? What do you want to talk about? What are you looking at in the markets this week?
Well, man,
Where do we start, right? Go for it.
Yeah, where do we start, man? Things go really crazy here. We had that, we had that crazy move down, yesterday, and then towards the end of the day, we had tried to make a little bit of a comeback, and I was, been watching it this morning, overnight. Like I think we've got right now a NASDAQ chart showing, we've tried to ease back up overnight here, and then, first thing this morning we popped up, and we hadn't been able to really break much above this level here, and we had some news just pop out on us here. So,
and tell us about what we're looking at in that chart, because you have a lot going on in there, just for the people that look in that in terms of, what's marked up on there, or you got a lot of action going on in that chart.
We do, actually. Let me make it a little simpler for you here, show you yesterday. Yesterday was just beautiful, man. Yesterday was beautiful. Let me go back and kind of show you kind of how I was kind of taking advantage of yesterday here. And a lot on the chart, can be a little bit overwhelming, but just in a real quick nutshell here, what I've got here, right here in this area here, this is more of our kind of trend direction. One of our trend direction indicators here, and very easy, green and red, long and short. But right here, all these letters, and you can kind of see here we've got A, P, E, and X, kind of what we call our apex pattern. And A is kind of alert, P is pivot, E is entry, and X is when that pattern kind of completes and confirms a short trend direction. So yesterday, going with that big move in the market, it was just a day trader's dream, especially a scalper's dream. In a nutshell, what I was looking for yesterday is when my trend direction's confirming red and short, I'm basically taking trades off of every one of these, pivots and then these P and E's, for these quick little moves down, boom, and here another P and E, little move down, and then we go right back into it, a P and E, a P and E, a P and E. So just scalping that thing the whole way down, man, just pop, 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 or you could have gotten into one of these early entries and rode the whole thing down here, taking advantage of a, longer term trade or hopping in, a Nadex spread, for example, but when you can catch those things and, ride those moves down when everything's lining up, I mean, it was just a great move down. And then, you can kind of see later in the day, right before lunchtime, the same thing popped up. Man, we were just riding that thing down with every, every E entry there, just scalping it down. Then we got a little lull at lunchtime, as you see. Everybody said, hey, we're hungry now. After that great morning, had a little bit of a lunchtime lull there. And then, we had one more pop up, one more pop down, and it just started, fizzling back up here towards the end of the day, especially after some of those remarks.
Now,
so today...
Go ahead. Sorry, please.
No, go ahead. Go for it.
Well, I was just going to say, you mentioned the spreads, and I know you deal with binaries, you deal with spreads as well, but I know you do some work for Nadex, and so I have up here, I know you have a workshop going on, is that Thursday, 2 days from right now? You have a workshop for Nadex talking about the risk and rewards for Nadex spreads?
Yep. Thursday,
Nice.
1 p.m. Eastern time.
Nice.
And, with Nadex, we're an education partner with them. We do webinars for them each week. We kind of cycle back through every few months, and start with the kind of the basics of, kind of treat you like a 5-year-old, hold your hand and walk you through it. What is a binary? How does it work?
It's important to get the basics. We talk about it a lot. That's why you can download the demo account. You get comfortable, right? Before you put your money at risk, you really need to know just the fundamentals of, and I got you up here, risk versus money required, just kind of the basics before you're getting into managing your trades, just understanding the risk rewards of those spreads. And folks, if you want to sign up, we put it right under. You go to tfnn.com. You'll see Nadex Educational Webinars under Breaking News. You click there, you'll see that man John Skelton right there. 2 days from right now, 1 o'clock Eastern. I encourage people to check it out. John, thanks for coming on TFNN, man. We look forward to having you back on again soon.
Thanks
All
so
right,
much,
talk to you guys soon. Thanks so much.
Safe one.
Thanks, John.
All right, you too. Thanks, guys.
All right, folks, come on back. We'll be back. We got markets in positive territory on Tuesday. We'll be back in 3 minutes.